Thank you, Beat, but I don't think this will reach. It does reach! Thank you. Everything I say is based on my own opinions and experience. I'm not speaking for the public, and my feedback should be treated as such. You are watching Nico Evaluates. With 25 years of experience on Mega Man games, 7 years of doing the No Miss Buster Only challenge, and countless Snupster Races, as well as being the QA tester for Mega Man Unlimited, I'm here to tell you my honest opinion on different Mega Man games, so sit tight and learn. Hello people and welcome back to Nico Evaluates Mega Man Unlimited. Press enter even though we're using a gamepad. Megaphil X, what have you done? We only have 2 left, are you kidding me? Let's go to Yo-Yo Man. I had Yo-Yo Man's ringtone on my phone for like 2 years. One of my favorite songs, but I overdid it so it lost its meaning. Don't wanna do that. One of the more beautiful stages in the game. Why is this lagging so much? Oh yeah, cause it's one of those weird kind of games. I find that games that are done with C++ or any similar code are pretty fragile when you have shit open on your PC. I have all of my work stuff open, so if I just close it, close all of this shit. Alright, this is one of the more beautiful levels in the game. So this is a pretty cool enemy here. Has its shooting bullets that will scatter around like that into smaller ones, and the telly is pretty good since the bullet is big, so it gives the impression that again I shot twice for some reason, but it gives the impression that something's gonna probably happen. And I like the design that you can't hit the metal part at the bottom. It's a fun design. And it's also well placed. You can just walk up to it and shoot it 3 times if you are already familiar with the game. So that's pretty nice. Again, lovely animations in the foreground. And these enemies, again, not one of my favorites, cause they look nothing like your typical Mega Man Mega Man enemy. It's not like it's not typical at all. And if you do decide to run away, you already saw the problem there, so if you're like, holy shit, and you go back, this guy comes back and then you're fucked. But it's a weird enemy. The enemy in itself is fine. It's kinda like the atomic chickens from Woodman stage. It's the same principle in avoiding them. Pretty much just you wait and go under, or just slide. Oh my god, I'm getting pummeled if I go back. So the design I'm not a fan of. It doesn't look anything like an enemy from a Mega Man universe, but it's a fun enemy anyway. I'll showcase a bug that I've ran into a couple of times in the mini-screen as a pretty hilarious bug. Not even Phil knows how that ends up happening. And these guys, good introduction, but there is a but. Hard to showcase stuff in this stage, it's a bit hectic. But I like the one that appears behind you, like this one. This one is good. But right as you're about to jump over this, 2 more appear, and it's a bit hectic of an introduction to a new enemy. It's good that you can't hit yourself on it when it's forming, but it is a bit rough introduction to a new enemy. So that one, that's fine, and then 2 more. It kind of depends how you're moving at that point. It's not too bad. Wouldn't scold the game for it. It is a little rough of an introduction, but this seems very rough when I'm going back and forth and explaining things. It seems like I fucking suck at this game. But if we go back and see how the level flows when you know what to do, I think the game is pretty well built for speed running and all that, and it shows when you're going about the stage a bit faster, or if you know what you're doing, like that. You can just get past this damageless if you know what you're doing, but if you don't, for newcomers it is a pretty rough stage. Certainly wouldn't go after this one first. So after 3 jumps, those balls explode. It's a fun mechanic in my opinion. I would change the color of the ball on the last jump, so when it does that, when it does the jump explode, I would make it so that on the last jump it changed color or started flashing to indicate that it's gonna explode on the next jump. That would have been cool to see. We're also on 0 lives, so let's go reset those. You know what? Why don't we go to the shop and buy some shit? Showcase that. Max our lives for one. Oh yeah, you have to press start in order to do that. Can't carry more, so we have max. So we just get E-tanks with the rest. And might as well get the energy balancer, why not? We can showcase Beat, sure, and we can showcase Eddie Cole. Why not? Get them all. Apart from the spike item, I guess. Here we go. So, not bad, Yo-Yo Ma stage. I do like it for the most part. The skateboarder enemy is a bit strange. Nothing like we've seen before on any Mega Man game. So here we go. I think this is fine. It's well designed. If you just use your brain, you're not gonna get hit here. And you have an easy spot to kill that enemy as well. So we can get rid of this wall with this one. So the weapon is a bit different. It's shorter from the one that the Tri-Nitro Man uses. So that's the difference between the graphics there. It's a bit strange. I would have made it. I would have just changed it up somehow. It's an extremely weird graphic for a weapon. To showcase the glue shot a bit here. Never mind, it doesn't work on this enemy. Well, Rainbow Beam. You can fire it off and then you can press the button again to stop it. It's pretty cool. Does blink a bit too much, but again, personal problems. I think this section is okay, but I personally do not like these kind of jumps where there's 2 blocks on top of each other like this. It's one design choice that I never liked in Mega Man games, and I don't like it here either. I usually just damage boost through this because it's easier and faster. But the design otherwise is not bad. And again, teaching element. So you basically, these are the same platforms than in Mega Man 4's Cossack stage, but these actually come back down, whereas in the Cossack stages they just disappear and never come back. Good teaching element. Very well done. And after that, you are gonna eat shit, because it's gonna get difficult as hell if you do not master the platform, so the teaching element is extremely important here. We do have weapons, but so that jump was extremely nice. Well, yeah, this game is littered with dead spikes, it's pretty obvious at this point. It's like Mega Man 4, pretty much. Nice placements in this stage, I would say so. Some of the last sections, though, are a bit insta-kill heavy. If you didn't master the techniques on the stage yet, you are gonna get hosed. Such as here. You really have to take your time, and Unlimited is one of those games where it constantly makes you want to hurry, but that's the last thing you wanna do. You want to take your time. Or that will happen, because if you rush, shit like this is gonna happen. But we do have weapons, so if you do end up screwing yourself, you have weapons to help you out. And why not otherwise as well? The nail shield is extremely overpowered in this stage. It's fun to see a weapon come this handy on a stage. It's very good here, because you don't have to aim at all. You can just take your time and move slowly. Everything just fucking dies. That's why the weapon takes so much energy. You can just keep it on and shit dies. Except when you go through transitions, of course. But otherwise, it's a fantastic weapon. So that wall down there looks like it can be destroyed, but it cannot. It's just for flair. I don't know what is the deal with it. Why is it orange? But it's the same wall than in here, but I'm not sure why it was positioned that way. I did try to break it at some point in my unlimited career. This is one of my favorite stretches in the entire stage. It's fun, and you have the little E-tank up there if you're willing to take that risk. Yeah, that's a bit rough. This is one of... yeah, that's a bit rough, I do agree on that. So, the jet does slow down, but it slows down so little that it's hard to tell. So you pretty much have to know that this yo-yo skateboarder guy is gonna come. Again, I shot twice. But yeah, it's a bit of a rough spot to put him on. Maybe I would have put a spine here instead or something different. Or like the guy up here is fine. Maybe I would have not put the skateboarder guy there. But these jumps, ridiculous jumps, but it's for an E-tank, so I understand. Of course, you don't hit your head because it's unlimited. There we go. So, I think one reason why Megaphil X removed the wall, there used to be a wall here at the bottom, but I think because of the glitch that happened to me, or happened to several people, he removed the wall. I'm not sure if that helped with the glitch or not, but I haven't seen it since, so maybe that's why. There we go. Again, you just have to know about the skateboard guys. They are gonna smack your ass about and teach you a lesson on your anatomy if you're not careful. It's a bit of a hectic design, just like the luggage carrier guys in Jetman stage. It's the same kind of deal. This is extremely fun. It's fun to see a mechanic like this. It's very well done. But yeah, the luggage guys as well as the skateboard guys, they are too relentless in my opinion. They just rush you too fast. And maybe just the design itself is not bad, but when you position them like that, then it becomes a problem. So the more hectic the enemy, the more important it is to design... Oh my god, I couldn't press... Did you see that? Anyway, the more important it is to design the enemies around the stage layout. But I was pressing right and I didn't move right there. I've never seen that happen before. That was strange. Maybe it had something to do with collecting the energy. I don't know. Yo-Yo Man's pattern, I never really... Yeah, I know how to do it, but I never really memorized it, so... We're gonna take some hits here. Most likely, he's one of those hectic robot masters where you really have to know what he's doing. And this is a new attack that Phil added on a patch. It's a cool one. I like how the whole room vibrates when he goes up there. That's a cool addition. But he's one of the hardest robot masters to buster, I think. But it's only because of the weird patterns of the yo-yos. It's not random, it's just... Like every other time, he does it a bit differently. So you just have to keep track. It's a reactionary battle, just like Concrete Man. But... There's a caveat to that, because... it's always the same, whereas in Concrete Man it's easy to manipulate his moves, but here there's nothing you can do about it. And if you corner yourself like that, you are fucked. Yo-Yo Man, yeah, he's definitely one of the hardest robot masters in the game, in my opinion anyway. It's hard to hit him, and it's hard to avoid his yo-yos if you are not familiar with them. It's been so long since I played this game again that I literally cannot dodge this again. It's gonna take some time. And if he lands in the middle, you are pretty much hosed. Because you need the space to avoid the yo-yos. And if you position yourself wrong, then he has an advantage, and that's a huge advantage. He's just gonna pummel you down until he moves again. It's a good design, but at times he can be a bit too difficult. Of course, if you just kill him fast, then that doesn't matter. It's very much one of the more interesting robot masters in the game. The way it battles you, it's quite unforeseen before. There's a lot to react to. It's kind of like Plug Man. But I think this is even more difficult than Plugman, to be honest. I'm not sure why I would say that, but now that I've had such a long time since I played this last time, it's gonna shift my opinion just a little bit. The more time you spend here, the better it will become. That's one other attack as well. I'm doing a horrible job at it because it's been so long. Yo-Yo Man was never my strong suit. I cannot deal with this guy. I know it's an easy Robot Master once you figure out all of the moves, but for me, my brain just doesn't cooperate on this fight. I don't know what it is. I just can't seem to get a grip on this one. I have done my no miss challenge on this guy as well, and I remember that it was not fun at all. Well, fun in the sense that it took me so long. The Robot Master itself is pretty cool, and the moves he does are pretty fantastic in my opinion. It's fun, Robot Master, but that move is a bit hard to read. He's just gonna throw the yo-yos without even, like, hesitating. He doesn't telegraph that well. He just does what he does. It's a cool Robot Master, it's very cool, but it does have some flaws. It's not perfect, but it's a goddamn good job though. Like, coming up with a pattern like this, I would imagine is pretty difficult to do. And pretty difficult to do this well. Yeah, you're gonna get fucked if you make that mistake. And yeah, those are the rough things about Yo-Yo Man, those two attacks. When he does them so close up to you, then you have a problem, but it's not horrible. It's not one of my favorites, but it's not a bad job. I do enjoy the core idea of Yo-Yo Man. So I think I'm indifferent in his design. I do like it, but at the same time he's a bit rough. Not possibly rough in the sense that it's too hard, it's just he doesn't telegraph that well at all times. He should make his moves a bit more known before he does what he does. Now Tankman, there are glitches here that affect a small number of computers. I think it's a CPU timing issue. I will talk about that as well, as not to ignore that bug, because it still exists. Phil is trying to fix it, but we'll see if he's able to do that. Alright, but what comes to the stage? Cool music, background, foreground, everything looks amazing again. Now, I've heard that people dislike these enemies. To me, it's not bad. I do like the design. Head pops out, and they throw a grenade. What is there not to like, I guess? When you get close, they will aggro, and they will try to throw the grenade at your location, like that. You have to shoot them in the head 3 times. They also open up if you shoot them. So, you just wanna shoot 3 times at the head. We have different kind of mines. They don't teach you at all, so it's just like take a hit and learn. So the orange ones explode when you're near them, and the blue ones explode into little pellets, and you have to work around them a bit differently. And the METS are fucking hilarious in this stage. They go back like this and then open up. So they're like soldier METS. They fit the team pretty well. And I think it's a good design on them, like look at that. They just work well. It's fun to kill them. One of the most enjoyable METS to kill in my opinion. And that METS probably gonna be different because it's placed like that, and in fact it is just a normal METS. Another easy energy grab, but then that guy comes back. We can showcase the yo-yo. It's pretty much like a metal blade, but you can shoot it up against walls and it will move around the walls a little bit. It's one of my favorite weapons in this game. And as well you can kill mines with it, but this is how you avoid the blue ones. It's a bit convoluted design, you have to know how to do that. You're just probably gonna take hits the first time you try to learn them. But it's cool that the yo-yos kill them. The yo-yos are pretty cool. Look at the background again. The amount of detail that goes into this game is just official Mega Man quality, if not even a tad better. Comet Dash also works for these guys, you can just go past them and kill them like that. The weapons are extremely well made. Why don't we get the letter? You can either position a glue shot here, like that, and slide. Or if you don't have it, you can comet dash between the gap, but that's a bit difficult to do. See if we are able to, and we are not. Yeah, so you can see, very difficult to do that. But let's get the letter. There we go. Oh! Okay, cool. So, this is where the CPU timing issue sometimes happens. So, if you try to jump up to these, they don't always work on some computers, and I believe it's a CPU issue anyway. For me, on this desktop PC, this has always worked, but on my Mac, where I have my Windows installed, it doesn't work. Sometimes nothing happens when you jump up, and then you just die because you didn't get pushed. Felon has the same issue, one of the Snupsters, on his PC, so that's why we have to postpone our race a bit. If Phil can figure out what causes that, we can race with a better mindset. But that's one issue that happens here. Nobody really knows what causes that. So, but the mechanic, if we ignore that bug, the mechanic is pretty cool. It's a bit too much like the ones in Glue Man. The graphic is not that different, but it works completely differently. So maybe somehow alter the design a bit, even a bit more, to indicate that these are indeed different. They're not gonna carry you from your head like the Glue Man ones. They're just gonna push you around like that. You have to be extremely careful around those. That's a cool shield attacker placement. Don't have the shield attacker touch this wall here. Just make it turn before that. And here, you just have to trust that, and trust the jump, as well as here. I think it's a cool design, and you just land on this pole, it's fun. And there's a tank coming though. If you scroll it on the screen like that... welcome to a bad day. I was just kidding, you can jump over it. What a cute design. Sorry Phil, I was doubting you. Look at that. Make those jumps easily. That's how you make a good design. I like these tank enemies. Joe, first Joe we see. Yellow Joe looks extremely cool. He shoots these big pellets. Very slow and easy to dodge. Unless you are getting pummeled, because I kinda scrolled them on the screen the wrong way. That's my fault, but I do like that Joe. Again, trust the ceiling, except if you have the bug. Okay, so glue shot comes in handy again. Unless you're a master of using comet dash. So glue shot does do this, but you still get hit. So you have to be careful if you use the glue shot. But you can still change to other weapons, so if you freeze it, then you can do this. That's cool. Oh my god, an nail shield goes through every fucking shield. That's amazing. So, again, if you have weapons, feel free to use them. But otherwise, you would just jump up here and bust through the tank. So, I think this is one of the stages where it's really important to make the stage layout work in the player's favor. And I think Phil has done an okay job with it here. It's not the best, but considering what the physics are in this stage, I think they're pretty well done. Nothing is that much out of place. That was my bad. Mini-boss, and there's something interesting about this one. So once you kill it, the Joes will jump and corner you from left and right, but you can actually skip it. You can just ignore the whole screen, I can show you that. So right now, if I try to go right, it wouldn't work. Let me try that. So I can't go right. But there has been a bug as well where you get zipped by the METS and you completely disregard the screen. So that's also has to do with the same timing issue, I believe. So that's yet to be solved, that bug. But it's a cool mini-boss. I think one of my favorite ones that I've ever seen, in fact. Very fair. METS jump out and you can even get energy from them. And when he's about to shoot, you just slide. It's a very cool design in my opinion. And look at the animation. Exactly what I mean. Animate your shots and animate your mini-bosses like that, so you know what's gonna happen. Don't just spawn the fireball or cannon shot right away. Give the player a clue that that's gonna happen, right? And there's a big red button you're supposed to shoot. It's a fun mini-boss. Oh god. So let me show how to skip this. You just do it like that. Not sure if that's an oversight or not. But that's possible. Again, watch out for the ceiling so you don't get hit by the shield attacker. And also, if you mistime the jump, you're gonna land on a mine. Bit of a troll. You just have to watch for the mines. I do like that mechanic though, but it's hard to teach a player with such mechanics. And a room that tries to kill you on spikes if you don't do a proper jump. But again, the jump mechanics are so good in this game that it's your own fault if you kill yourself on that. This stage is extremely fun to speedrun with Z prototype. Extremely fun. It's a good. This game is good for speedruns as well. It's very good. Alright, got the life for that hard jump. So you cannot kill the mines with Buster. That's a notable thing as well. That's cool. Love the mechanics in this stage. Yeah, it's one of those stages that split people as well. So I've heard people that do not like this stage at all. That was a bit of an asshole mine placement. And this screen, I usually always take a hit here. I'm not sure why. You just have to wait and kill it like that. But if you try to rush, it's not timed well for that. It's not timed well for a speedrun. You just take a hit from that if you try to go too fast. Unless you use weapons. I don't think nail shield works on that. That's weird how it just disappears like that. Take the mini E-tank. Okay. I do like this room as well. It's makes you wanna rush. Of course you don't have to, but that's what it does. There's adequate room in this stage where really it's easy to battle enemies. Oops. This is one of the harder ones. You're inside this kind of a bunker deal and you have to time that. And if you go back too much, you're gonna spawn it back on the screen. It's kind of your own fault as well. I always go down here, but except now. Guess I want to see that. Again, ceiling mechanics are here. So if you had the bug happen, stuff like this would kill you. Thank you, Beat, but I don't think this will reach. It does reach. Thank you. Of course, right before the gate as well. This is like Mega Man Unlimited in a nutshell. Right before the gate. That'll sum up the whole game. And that will make you Nintendo fucking mad. In a good way. So as you can see, you can advance pretty fast when you know the stage. But like this, look at that. It turns just in the same moment you try to go past it if you try to go fast past the shield attacker. So I would have probably timed it better for going about it fast. But that's just me. Can't really slide against the blue mines, that'll cause a problem. There we go. You just have to trust that the wall will cover you there. This is a better way to handle that tank. There we go, we are almost at the end here. This is a rough placement for the for that grenade thrower guy, cause you're on this one pillar trying to dodge him, and if you're here, it's even more difficult to reach him. It's just gonna kill you, but it's just before the gates. It's a rough placement. It is fair, in a sense, but at the same time it's kinda Tankman is my least favorite Robot Master in this entire game. Mainly because he just goes back and forth and does the same thing. This, you've seen the whole pattern now. That was the whole pattern, so every other time he will go under you, and every other time he will stop and go back. And that's what he does, he just goes back and forth. He does nothing else, and it's very underwhelming. I understand it's a tank, it's not mobile enough. But at the same time, just use some imagination, because this is... Really, the problem is that I'm not expecting a shoddy quality like this from Unlimited. It's just my opinion, but I really do not like this boss. It's way too boring. Like At least have another attack where he jumps around or something. Yeah, I get it, it's a tank, it cannot jump. But come on, it's a game, so you can do that still. You don't have to obey the laws of physics. I mean, make him morph or something. Make him like a fucking what's the show? No, 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 no. I can't believe I can't remember the show name. No, no, no. Transformers. That's right. Make it transform somehow and do something different. Here you see the problem. If you don't pay attention what he's gonna do next, you're gonna get hit because you can't remember. So you always have to keep track if he's gonna go under you or if he's gonna stop. If you don't keep track, yeah, you're fucked. Extremely easy pattern. Now I can remember. He's gonna stop, right? Yes, he will. So, easiest Robot Master probably to no miss. But man, is this boring, like... This is not the quality I expect from the game. He's gonna go under? Yeah, just add a new attack. It is just too boring. It is, I think, in my opinion, just a low quality boss. That's my opinion on Tankman, you can have a different opinion. Could be worse. Alright, here's the wall, so you can also use the tank arsenal to break it. If you can hit the wall with it. Only the grenade does that kind of damage. The grenade also works in those jets, so that's cool. It's a pretty useful weapon. And for farming it works well as well. Just creates havoc if you can hit with it. It launches the same kind of 3 weapons than Tankman uses. One of them is like the Gradius type missile down there, and it's just a fun weapon. So let's get our last letter. I believe it's the last one. Yes, it is the Y letter. The weapons are extremely good in this game. Again, you have to work a bit to get the letter. That's understandable. Oh god, that's a bit rough. I would have only made that guy come from the right side, not from the left. To make that a bit easier. So letter is up there. You can get it by carefully using Rush Jet here, for example, but let's do it the right way. Rough jump, really ridiculous jumps here. But it's for the letter, so I can excuse it to some extent. Otherwise, I would not like those. So let's go get the letter. There we go. Letter is ours, now we can exit the stage. If you agreed on what I said, leave a like. If you disagreed, leave a dislike. Catch you on the next one.